Welcome to ComeonyespursTV, where we are talking about everything Spurs. Today, we're reviewing the first week of the World Cup in Qatar. It has been an absolutely fantastic week. Today, I've got two guests with me. I've got Keme and I've got our regular in-house guru, as I like to call him, Chuma. Chuma and Keme will join you in a few seconds. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Right, welcome back. Thank you so much. This is Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. But we have a bit of a Nigerian bent to it because we started this program, this podcast, from the Come On You Spurs, so from the Nigerian Spurs, what's it called, WhatsApp group, and yeah, it's just taken off from there. So yes, if you're new here, subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button. If you want to get notified anytime we go live, please click on the notification bell. With me today, like I said, I've got two guests. One of them is Chuma. Chuma, welcome. And also we have a new guest who's the first time on the program. Her name is Keme. Keme, welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Fine.
Beautiful. Chuma, how have you been?
Excellent. I love football. So 1 week of World Cup football in November is the best thing that could ever have happened to me. My birthday month.
I know, right? couldn't have asked for better, could we? Yeah. Right. So yes, we've had the first week of the round of matches, and it's gone so quickly, hasn't it? I mean, it looked like it started yesterday, and we're starting the second round of matches today. Now, the first match was Qatar against who did Qatar play again? Remind me. Ecuador, right?
Ecuador.
Yeah, and Valencia scored a couple of goals in that match, and the first match really we are concerned about as Common Spurs TV was the England match against Iran, wasn't it? Right, and we had a few Spurs interest there. Well, maybe one Spurs interest, which was Harry Kane, the captain, right, and ended up with an assist.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't score, and while we were trying to record, before this recording started, off air, we had a discussion with Kemi, and Kemi was saying something along the lines of she felt that Harry Kane could have scored a few goals in that match, you know, based on how well he's been doing for Spurs this season. What happened there, Kemi?
Yes, I was expecting him to score, but he didn't. But it was okay. He assisted the second goal.
Yes,
Only the first one or so. He did very well, but I was expecting him. I was expecting more. I wanted him to score. I really wanted him to score, though. But hopefully today, I believe he's going to score. Probably.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out. You know, it's going to be a tough match against the USA. You know, so yes, we'll see how that.
Yes. I don't think it's a tough match.
Well,
really?
Well, on paper, it doesn't look like a tough match because of the differences in ranking. But this is World Cup. Everyone has gone through qualification. They've all gone through the paces, and I mean, it's you'd expect to be comfortable for England. You'd expect to be comfortable, but it doesn't work like that in reality. As you found out, look at Argentina. Argentina will tell you about Saudi Arabia. You know, you know. So and look at Germany against Japan. You know, quite a few matches where things haven't quite gone according to the form book, you know. So yeah, I mean, paper, yes, it should be a comfortable match for England, but yeah, they've got quite a few talented players there in USA as well. I mean, Pulisic, he plays for Chelsea, you know. Got the young Mr. Weah. That's another good story there. Chuma, your thoughts?
On the England match, or
yes, on the England match. I mean, Kemi was saying that it should be a stroll in the park.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. I think the Americans are really the Americans remind me of Leeds. The same way Leeds are. Maybe it's in the American DNA of the way they coach. They are very fast. They're very athletic, but they are not very like technically sound.
Okay.
That match, they were running around a lot, but they couldn't hurt Wales the way they should have hurt Wales if they're a better team. And England are a better team than Wales, as we have seen from today. Iran is ripping Wales to shreds, but they can't score. Iran couldn't get close to it. And so I think she's right in the fact that if England treat this match the way they should treat, England should win this match. And I think Kane should get off the mark today because I think it's a game that will suit him more.
Yeah, he had a bit of an injury scare.
I think there's something there.
Yeah, we had that worrying news from a Spurs perspective, and well, of course from an England perspective as well, that he had an ankle injury.
His annual ankle injury.
Yes, ankle injury.
Every year.
Yes.
So, but thankfully, he's fit for the match. So,
how sure it is? Is it true or something? How sure it is?
How sure is what?
How sure is the injury? Is it true or I don't think so?
Well, it's not enough to lay him off this match. So put it that way. So they had the precautionary scan.
Are we sure it's not enough to lay him off, or Gareth Southgate is not brave enough to drop him?
Absolutely. Well, so we really don't know what the truth is. It's half a dozen of these or the other. So we'll see how that pans out. We've been seeing quite a lot of interesting matches and matchups. I think the highlight for me was, well, not the major Spurs highlights from the Spurs perspective for me was Rodrigo Bentancur against Mr. Son, and I saw that little photo of him and Son showing some love at the beginning of the match, before the match actually kicked off, which was really quite good, But that was a really, really tough match, wasn't it, Both teams get a real good account of themselves. Did you see that match, Chuma?
Yeah, I did. In fact, funny enough, you said at the beginning of the match, and during the game, there was a scene where they ran towards the corner line where Bentancur was supposed to be marking Son, and they touched hands like friends. And I'm saying to myself, you're supposed to be playing against each other, for God's sake. This is not your friend. This is your enemy. But it was a very, very tight. It was a very tight match. I think South Korea could have won that game. They had one clear chance in front of goal. If that had fallen to Son, that would have been a goal. Unfortunately.
Well, you say that. I mean, there was a chance that actually fell to Son, open goal, and he skied it. So I mean, these things are happening to the best strikers in the world, And also, I don't forget that Uruguay actually hit the post twice,
They did.
And Valdevera, he had an absolute blinder of a match. I saw one part in the match when he tackled almost like on a counter. He had a South Korean guy who was about to break away and one-on-one on goal, and he got there in the nick of time. And the way he celebrated that tackle was like I think he won the World Cup.
Yes. Valverde is now, he knows, like when players know that they become somebody. He knows now that he has become somebody now. Real Madrid. He feels it. You can see it in him. Like I've arrived. I'm now a star player. And him and Bentancur were really good. Bentancur doesn't get the press, but Bentancur did a couple of very good moves that only Spurs fans would know because we watch out for him. But if you watch the game, he tidied up a lot of things in midfield. So
that's his nature. That's Bentancur's nature. He just does the business when we require him to. I mean. The other match which I found, I mean, we'll come to the big highlight at the end of this, which is the Brazil Serbia match where we had our boy Richarlison, I mean, just doing the business on the big stage. I mean, you can't beat that. But we'll come to that in a minute. But before we come to that, we had some Spurs involvements in quotes because they weren't quite Spurs players, but ex-Spurs, right? So we had the match Netherlands against Senegal, and for me, I mean, even though Netherlands won that match, I thought Senegal were just a little bit. I don't want to use the word naive because a lot of commentators use that expression, and it sort of gets me because it suggests that we're poor quality, and all that sort of thing, but it just doesn't help. I mean, to describe footballers as naive because they didn't, they don't come from Europe or something like that, but that's another matter entirely. But however, I felt that Senegal had a chance in that match, even if just to keep the Dutch out. I mean, but just didn't. It just failed to sort of click. You were saying that, Kema, did you see that match at all?
Yeah, the Senegal, Netherlands, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, at first I thought they said because of money that I thought they don't have players. I never knew Senegal have players until the match. Yes, I'm surprised. I never knew. I thought it's just money. They said
Right.
money, 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 money. I was surprised. They did very well, but they I don't know, but I believe their next game will be better than the first one. They did very, very well. They would have won the game,
Well,
even without money. They can do better without money. What?
yeah, I thought they did better as well. And a lot of
Yes, they did.
the hype, or if you like, or the media narrative always covers the superstars, and forget that they have, quite a solid team. You got Mendy. Mendy, okay, I guess he was probably at fault for the goals in my view. I think he could have done better for the goals, But
Yes.
so, and there's some suggestion in the papers that Mendy might be offered to us, and a lot of Spurs fans say, no, don't do that. But I would have him.
Yeah, Mendy is a good keeper. He's a good guy.
I
Mendy is good. I like
I would
Mendy.
actually take him. I'll take him.
I would take him. Well.
Yes, I would gladly take him too.
I went on a poll.
I would take him too.
At Spurs any day.
Yes, me too. I'll take him too. He's a good keeper. I like him.
This is it. So I mean, I'd have him any day. Okay, he has a howler or two in him, but overall, I mean, I think he's okay. Every keeper has a howler in him. It's just as long as it's not as often as Mr. Lloris seems to be doing these days. But hey, I like Lloris actually. I mean, I know he's cost us a few matches, but overall, I think he's kept us in more matches than he's been in the ability. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, a lot of teams have this narrative about when it's only the superstars that people remember. They forget that you see that the Kouyates in the team. You have Koulibaly plays for Chelsea as well. And so it's quite a solid team. It's not a bad team at all. And and then we had the Belgium match where we had Jan and Toby playing against. Who did Belgium play against? Remind me now.
Belgium.
Belgium played. Oh goodness. Literally, as you said it, I forgot it as well.
Well, they managed to scrape a 1-0 win in the end, but they had Belgium played against Canada, yes,
Yes, Canada.
The Canadians were unfortunate.
Absolutely.
The Canadians were unfortunate,
They had a penalty. They had a penalty saved by Courtois, So yeah, I mean, so
yes,
it wasn't an easy match by any means for Belgium at all. I mean, what it just tells us this week overall, what we've seen at least in the first round of matches is that apart from a few teams, right, that you could say maybe Costa Rica that we lost 7 goals to Spain, but apart from that, I can't see any team I could say don't deserve to be at this World Cup or should not be there because every team has given a good account of themselves so far.
Every team deserves. Yes, every team deserves to be in the World Cup. The World Cup has changed. There's no longer a big team. There's no longer who knows how to play. Every team deserves to be in the World Cup.
Absolutely.
Every team. Everybody. Yes.
Yeah, look at Saudi Arabia. I mean, against
the table have done.
Absolutely. Look at Saudi Arabia. Who could have predicted that scoreline? It was an absolutely fantastic display, and the goal to cap the win was just out of this world. Did you see that goal, Kichuma?
Yeah, no, if that goal had been scored by anybody on the Argentinian side, especially a certain Messi, we would be going on and on and
absolutely,
on and on.
Absolutely.
It was a very good goal, but you could sort of see it coming because the Argentines were pressing, but they couldn't. They scored 3 disallowed goals offside.
Yes.
Once those chances didn't go in, the Saudi Arabians were getting confidence, and the Saudi Arabians are very physical guys, and they can move with a ball. So as soon as they scored that equalizer, you're like, okay, what's going to happen? And then bam, the second goal, and they just stayed back. Oh yeah, break us down. And the Argentinians couldn't break them down. So for me, that was, and I think that match gave a lot of confidence to other so-called smaller nations. And now everybody's coming to every match saying we can take you or we'll play. Yeah, because you watch even the Australians after, even though they lost heavily, they came for France. So it's like everybody's now, the smaller teams are like, they have so much confidence. They have so much that they've seen the templates with Saudi Arabia that they can take people on. Meanwhile, as we're speaking now, Iran has just beaten Wales 2-0.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Wow.
The Welsh keeper got
Wow.
sent off.
What a turn up!
That's terrible. Is Bale not playing? That's terrible.
Bale could not do anything. Bale could not do anything.
Oh wow!
Wales
Bale could not do anything.
Wales are really hanging on a thread.
I guess on the balance of play in that match, I mean, Iran probably deserved it because they deserved to have gone many times in that match.
21 shots on goal by Iran.
Can you imagine?
21 shots.
Can you imagine that? You know.
I mean, they deserve
wow.
it. Deserve it.
So I think what that means is that Wales will have the tails up against England. You know, and so hopefully England have to win tonight against the USA to guarantee their place in the second round. You know, I mean, we had the match Morocco. Who did Morocco play? Remind me now. Morocco played a really, really fantastic match, didn't they, against Switzerland? No, was it? No. Switzerland played
against Cameroon.
Yes.
Switzerland played against Cameroon.
Morocco played Poland. Morocco played Poland.
Yes.
Yeah, and they ended up, I think it was a 0-0 draw in the end, you know, but it was one of those sitting 0-0 draws, you know. So it's been really, really tough all around. I saw Perisic against was it Tunisia? Croatia. Who did Croatia? Tunisia played Croatia, didn't they?
Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia played Tunisia, I think. Yes, and they ended up another 0-0, which was they gave Croatia a big run for their money as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I saw that there were quite a few people who were having a go at Perisic in that match, saying that he didn't really do that great and all that. But I thought, look, this is football and it's World Cup. Everyone is there, to what's the word, to give their very best, and they didn't. Nobody came in Niger speak. Nobody came to serve granuts here, So everyone's here for.
Everybody is.
Absolutely.
Everybody is tough.
Exactly. So I think we've lost Chuma for a bit there. Let's just wait for him to come back, and then we'll see how that pans out. But for me, I think we've so far it's been a really, really good turn up in this World Cup. It's been a really good week. I mean, I can't even fault it. I beg your pardon. Croatia didn't actually play. They didn't play Morocco. They played. No, Croatia didn't play Tunisia. They played Morocco. Yeah, and Denmark played Tunisia. Yes, Denmark played Tunisia. Yeah, so that was the that was a big story in that one. Now, Japan and Germany. Wow, that was another match, eh? Another turn up for the books.
Beautiful game.
Sorry?
Beautiful game. I say beautiful game.
Absolutely. It was. Did you see that match, Keme?
Portugal, Ghana.
No. Japan.
Germany, Japan.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Give us your thoughts, Chuma.
No, it was a good game. The Germans took the lead by penalty, and you now felt maybe the Germans would certainly win. But the Japanese are made
open, right?
Yeah, but then you know what's funny? During the game, Rudiger, the German defender, there was a moment where he was mocking the striker who scored the winner. He mocked him during the game. He sort of looked at the guy and sort of like looked down on the guy like you're nothing compared to me. And he completed a tackle against the guy. And really he did something very, very unusual.
Condescending, right?
For the guy to have the last laugh. Yeah, and the guy came back, and then once he scored, Japan are like South Korea. They just have so much energy. Those guys, those Asian footballers, they have so much energy to burn. And once that guy was clear on goal, Asano, and he just hit that. It was possibly after the Saudi Arabian game. That's the next biggest game in terms of people, so-called smaller teams, giving confidence to the other teams that look, we can take these guys out. It was a shock for Germany, but Germany didn't take their chances. They missed a lot of chances as well. So they're
Yeah.
not clinical in this cup.
And for
Get done in
me,
this.
I know a lot of people are raving about the Saudi Arabian goal and as well as the Richarlison goal. But I actually thought one of the most difficult goals to score in that was that second goal that Japan scored against Germany. You know,
Yes.
very,
Near
very
post
tight
against
angle, near
one
post,
of the world's
and
best
pushed
keepers.
it in, and it was absolutely fantastic, you know, and against top flight opposition for that matter. So that for me was one of the highlights of the World Cup for me. Now, Group C. Saudi Arabia, Poland, Mexico, Argentina in that group. On form, so on paper, according to the form book, Argentina will top this group. After the first round of matches, they're at the bottom with no goals, with 1 goal scored and 2 goals against, with no points. And Poland and Mexico drew 1-1. So Saudi Arabia, guess what? Topped the group with 3 points. So
Group.
now,
You know?
talk us through that match. Who wants to have a go with this one? Was it Kame or Chuma? I don't know if you can have a go on this one.
Which one? The Saudi Arabia match.
Saudi Arabia, Argentina.
I expected 5-0. I won't lie.
Right.
Argentina. I
From
thought
Argentina, right?
rinse them. Yeah. I thought Argentina would
Me too.
rinse Saudi Arabia. I thought it would rinse them.
Of course.
So it was such a shock.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably you're not alone in that big shock thing. That actually shocked the world, you know.
But there are certain players. I think one player in particular. I think he had a stinker of a match. Angel Di Maria. Angel Di Maria had a horrible match for. If he had been playing well, they would have probably done more. He didn't play well. In central midfield, they had one other guy, Rodrigo de Paul, also very poor. And everyone's looking to Messi. But sometimes Messi is just one man, and he's 36 years old or 35 years old. He can't do that carrying the ball. Football is changing every year, so
yeah, and
Yes.
narrative say from some of the pundits to say that one of the key players that was missing was a certain Giovanni Lo Celso. Have we heard that name before?
Tottenham fans are laughing.
I know, right? Thinking he couldn't cut it at Tottenham, and it's like, I mean, key player for
excuses.
You know, I mean, for me also the other a bit of a downer was the fact that Romero hadn't played for a long time. He played 1 hour and he was shoved off.
And he came off as well.
Yeah, and came off after I think he got done for one of the goals as well. You know, by the Saudi Arabian player. So yeah, all in all, good turnout for the Saudis. You know, yeah. So that group is looking really interesting, shall we say? Because on paper, you probably would have maybe favored Argentina to top the group and to choose between Poland and Mexico on paper. But we'll see how that pans out. Yeah, Group D, I mean, France, Tunisia, Denmark, and Australia. I mean, France demolished Australia, right?
Australians did well. They did well at first.
Mm.
And it just changed on them. I don't know. France, the quality difference in quality. France just Mbappe wants to prove a point because his enemy Haaland didn't make it to the World Cup, so this is his opportunity to become the world's best player. He has to prove it.
Absolutely, and he came in with a brilliant finish and I think he scored 2 goals, right? Didn't he?
No, that was Giroud scored 2 goals.
Giroud scored 2 goals. Yeah, one.
Yeah, he scored 1.
Yeah, sorry, Mbappe scored 1 and Giroud scored 2. Yeah, we don't want to talk
about. Giroud scored 2. Giroud is now the joint top scorer for France in their history.
Can you believe that? Who would have thought that Giroud would have been a top scorer for France? You know.
I am telling you.
Exactly.
Honestly, I mean, it's amazing, eh? The things that world football shows up. Anyway, moving on to Group E: Spain, Japan, Germany. We've done Japan and Germany Costa Rica and Spain, of course. I mean, Spain passed the hell out of them, ended up with 7 goals. You know, that was yeah. So and then of course Belgium and Canada. We've spoken about that. How fortunate Belgium were, or how unfortunate Canada were, and then of course Croatia and Morocco played an exciting 0-0 draw with Mr. Perisic in tow. Now, before we do the Group G, let's just do Group H very quickly, which is South Korea and Uruguay. We talked about that when Bentancur and Son met, you know, and you know, I think you noticed a particular incident where Rodrigo and Heung-min Son met, and they were meant to be talking with each other. They had a bit of a tap of hands. That was quite funny. But Ghana and Portugal. Okay. Ronaldo won a penalty, right? I saw that penalty, and I'm thinking to myself, how on earth is that a penalty?
Soft.
I mean, how on earth is that a penalty?
I'll let Keme go on. Keme, you watched the game. You watched the Portugal-Ghana game.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Everyone said it's not a penalty. For me, it's a penalty.
Why?
It was a penalty.
Why was it a penalty?
Because the guy that pushed him is the last man, right?
Right. Pushed him? How did he push him?
What?
The ball got to the ball at the same time. You know, I mean, essentially, their feet both touched the ball at the same time, literally. And for me, that created a doubt anyway, you know, and it just put into doubt the accuracy of the on-field decision. And the other thing about it was that there was no call to go and for the referee to go and have a look at the replay. You know, I'm sure if he had a look at that replay, he would have come away and said, "Oh, definitely not a penalty." You know, and I mean that for me that was unjustified. Anyway, Chuma, what did you think?
I looked at. I've seen it given and I've seen it not be given before.
Okay.
But at the biggest stage in the world, where is the World Cup? Sometimes you think the referees wouldn't give that because Salisu, he touched the ball. Ronaldo was really smart. Cristiano Ronaldo is a very smart guy, lots of experience. The way he literally towed the ball. So you said they both touched the ball at the same time, but Kema is right in the sense that Ronaldo touched it a bit further before the guy's foot came in. So Ronaldo touched it first, moving it away, and then the guy came. So, but those kind of things, like it's 50-50 if it's given, if it's not given. And in that kind of game, it changed the game for me. As soon as they considered that penalty, Portuguese were up and now moving around a bit more, you know, and the Ghanaians were now footed. But yeah, it's you know, he gets his goal, Cristiano Ronaldo. If it was any other player than Cristiano Ronaldo, would that have been a penalty? That's another question you have to ask.
This is it. So yeah, I guess it's all done. Nothing anyone can do about that. But kind of unfortunately, not to have nicked the point at the end. I mean, unfortunately, the guy slipped when he tried to do the aerobic clean.
They should have been playing the way they played after.
The gods were definitely not smiling on Ghana yesterday, were they?
I don't want Ghana to win.
Oh, you didn't want them
to say that.
Is this the
that could have been Nigeria? That could have been Nigeria.
Oh, there you go. So. Exactly. There you go.
Yes, of course. That could have been Nigeria. Well, so I never wanted Ghana to win. Even their 2 goals, I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't happy about the second goal.
You know, they almost had a third goal. Yeah. I don't know what was wrong with the keeper.
Yeah. I know.
Portuguese keeper. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah.
That's what we call
almost, it. Almost.
Yeah, we call it Robbie Keane moment. Unfortunately, he slipped, right?
He slipped. You know, thank goodness.
It was too late. I never wanted the Ghana to even score 1.
Wow.
Because I don't want them.
Right. Let's have a look quickly at that last group. I mean, okay, not the last group, okay, the ones that we really want to have a look at, which is the group involving Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia. before we go to the Brazil match, which we want to use as a highlight for today, is let's look at the Cameroon and Switzerland match. Now, Cameroon ended up conceding a goal to Mbolo. Mbolo wasn't selected to play for Cameroon, was he? Or remind me what happened there. He's always played for.
He was born in Cameroon, but his family moved to Switzerland.
Yes, and then he scored against his in quote mother or fatherland, if you like.
And he didn't celebrate. So
I didn't celebrate. That was quite a moment for them. Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way, I think it was a balanced match. We just didn't quite have that cutting edge. I actually thought Chipper Morton, that guy is such a player.
He was brilliant.
He was brilliant. And why they took him off, I still don't understand why he was taken off. Because he was causing the most problems for Switzerland. You know, he was causing the most problems. He was holding on the ball well. You know, he kept getting the right positions, you know, and was passing off anyone who ran off him. And I'm surprised they took him off. You know? And they brought on Nkudu. Nkudu, for me, I don't know. He just runs into like Lucas Moura corners, you know, into cold.
Lucas Moura, thank you, Lucas Moura.
You know, just runs into Lucas Moura type corners and just doesn't quite deliver. I mean, anyway, but there you go. That was the only Spurs connection in that match. You know, the big one, Brazil against Serbia. That was last match of the first round of matches, and we had Rich starting for Brazil, ahead of a certain Mr. Gabriel Jesus, who plays for a team up the road, you know. And a lot of people were saying that, oh yeah, he shouldn't have started ahead of Gabriel Jesus, you know.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
But when it came to delivering the goods, who was there? Mr. Rich. I mean, Mr. Rich, can you please talk me through that second goal? That's the second goal alone is enough for me to sort of, you know, have, I mean, butterflies in my tummy.
It was a good move. The most dangerous person in Brazil was Vinicius. That's the player I think everybody was afraid of, because Vinicius can turn anything around. So Vinicius comes out, goes to the left wing, and he uses the outside of his foot. Now, that ball was played behind Richarlison. A lot of people don't realize how good that goal was. It was played behind Richarlison. So Richarlison really was anticipating it to go forward. It came back. He now touched it with his left foot. Some say it was a miscontrol. I say he teed it up, and he turned around and just that acrobatic scissors volley, which he has done in training quite a few times. There are videos popping up online where he's done it in training several times. So he's been prepared. But to execute that
at the World Cup,
in a World Cup, no, it's just.
I mean, it's just absolutely kudos to him.
He has put himself on the map.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That was for me the crowning glory of the first round of matches, and it capped it brilliantly capped it. You know, what a way to cap the end of the first round of matches. You know, guys, we're looking forward to the next round of matches. We started with the first one today. It was Iran against Wales, England and USA coming up later on today, and yeah. Predictions.
for which we got Senegal, Qatar as well.
Yeah, of course we got Senegal, Qatar. I think England will win. I think Senegal will win as well. What do you reckon, guys?
I agree.
Good. So yeah, we'll come back at the end of next week and we'll look at what the second round of matches have done. Keme, it's been absolutely fantastic having you. You know, it's first time here, and yeah, you've done absolutely fantastic. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. And
thank you,
Chuma, as always, absolutely great.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Come on, ye Spurs.
All right.
Come on, ye Spurs. Night.
Come on, you Spurs.